Hello, everyone, and welcome to Breathe Motivation. My name's Anthony Hester. I'm the host for this show. My goal is to help you find purpose and passion in anything that you do on a day-to-day basis, and that's why I'm here. So glad to join you. I'm really excited about today's episode. It is marking an anniversary. We've been together for 1 year on this podcast, and I never thought that I would get this far when I first started. And to be able to get this far and to be able to see the difference that we've made together is truly amazing. And I really find it very awesome that we got a chance to, really be here together for a year. Or if you just started listening, you can always go back to listen to other episodes. But it's amazing that we've been able to make it through to a year and, be able to see the growth from individuals and, people I coach individually and, people that, reach out to me on, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and email, all these areas. It's very humbling to see that we can make a difference together. And that's what I've really enjoyed about this show. And let me start off with the definition. So the anniversary is the definition. I was going to say Daniversary. So anniversary is the date on which an event took place in a previous year. So actually it took place on the 7th. So tomorrow's the real anniversary, but I wanted to give you an episode. I want to apologize I didn't get an episode out last week. I'm trying to do multiple things, and balance can be a big thing for success, and I definitely did not do very well on balancing last week, so I want to apologize for that. But we are back today. But I'm so thankful and so grateful for the opportunity to be able to present different ideas and different ways to for success, right? We all have an idea of success, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to these episodes. And I know that there's a difference being made because I'm able to interact with all of you guys, so I really appreciate that. So I wanted to go, and I kind of want to just recap why I started Breathe Motivation, and give you guys some tidbits, and maybe remind some of you guys the principles of Breathe, because it all started from me having anxiety and panic attacks, right? It was a struggle, and a lot of it came from the idea of growing older. I started having panic attacks about I think I was 27, 28 years old. And it was really rough, but a lot of it came from not really understanding my why in life, my purpose, or the passion. I'm passionate about a lot of things, but I'm passionate about helping people, and I'm passionate about making things happen, and and it really just was tough because I wasn't living out what I wanted to live out, and I started to have all this doubt. I started to have all this frustration, and these anxiety and panic attacks would attack me because I wasn't living what my true idea of what success looked like. So that's where Breathe Motivation was born, right? I came up with 7 principles of how to live a better life for myself. And I thought, this would be a great opportunity for me to share my experiences throughout life, because I feel like we've all gone through a lot of great things, great learning experiences. There have been good times. There's been great times. There's been rough times. We've all gone through it. But I figured, I could get on this show and really share my experiences in, the corporate world, real life, get vulnerable with you guys. So let me give you those principles, because I think that was that is the main piece of us finding success. So it's an acronym of Breathe, and that's where Breathe Motivation came from, right? When you have anxiety and panic attacks, I always had such a hard time breathing, right? I'd have, short, shallow breaths that created this panic because I was like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. And, that's where Breathe Motivation came from. So that's, if you didn't know, now you know, right? So that's one of the biggest things that I look at. So it's an acronym of Breathe, but let's start off with B. That was be bold. You've got to be bold in your life. You got to be confident. You've got to have an awareness that you can be successful. And when you figure out that you can be bold, you've got to be able to just take one step at a time. And as you take one step at a time, you grow, and you continue to grow, and you continue to push yourself. And it can be scary as hell. It really can, right? There's been times where I've taken some steps and I was like, oh my gosh, here we go. And I'm creating my own anxiety. But I had to know that, I'm being bold. I'm being confident in myself, and I know that I can make things happen. So that's be bold. R is rule your world. So a lot of times we live lives of what other people expect of us, right? You've got to be able to rule your world and do what you enjoy doing, right? Nobody can create the life that you want, because how does anybody know, right? You've got to be able to know within your mind what you want, and you rule your world. It's not somebody else's world. Hey, your mom's going to rule your world, or your parents are going to rule your world, your brother, your sister, your friends, your family. You are in control. And that's what it comes down to, is making sure that you rule your world and know exactly what you want. Don't live the dream of somebody else, because it doesn't work like that. E was exceed your expectations. And again, your expectations. The expectations of others will create, this, personality again of who you are. And those expectations, you can't live up to other people's expectations, and it's impossible. And I learned that through perfection, right? I always wanted to be perfect, because I had this expectation from others that, I got to be perfect. I got to be, almost inhuman, right? But we are perfectly imperfect, which is amazing. And that's what you got to understand, is that we are perfectly imperfect. And that's where we were meant to be. We are meant to grow. We are meant to learn. We are meant to absorb as much as we can and be better people each and every day. And if you're doing that, you're exceeding your expectations, not anybody else's. A is attack your purpose, right? So you've got to go head on. And I talk about this to my friends all the time. You've got to have an offensive mindset versus a defensive mindset. The offensive mindset is going to attack your dreams, attack your purpose, attack, right? When you play safe, things, you kind of sit back, and then that's where fear really is creeped up, and doubt, because you sit there hoping and wishing that things will happen instead of taking action. And when you start to take action, yes, it's scary, but when you start to attack your purpose, you are going to find that you are going to have your dreams and goals become a reality. And you might not know how it's going to happen at first, but you've got to be able to trust yourself and have faith that this is going to be successful. And when you do that and you take those steps and attack your purpose, you will find the right actions. Next, take control. That's T, right? So T, take control. Take control of your life. Take control of your thoughts, right? When I had panic and anxiety attacks, I was not in control of my thoughts. My mind would run a million different miles, a million different ways, kind of like a tug of war game. Like it was a battle, right? I was battling myself and saying, oh, I'm not very good at these things. Or, man, I used to think about the worst case scenario. My wife went on a trip. What if she dies? Like, what am I going to do? What if I die? What is she going to do? All these thoughts would go through my mind, and you've got to be able to take control of your thoughts. At the end of the day, positive versus negative thoughts, whatever are in your mind is what's going to happen in life. And I used to never believe that until like 5-6 years ago. But when I started focusing on positive things would happen to me. Now, are there going to be negative things that do happen? Absolutely. But those are, what I call character building days or character building opportunities, because you're going to get a chance to learn to get better. Negative things can happen, but it's all in perspective on how you look at it. I look at it as an opportunity to learn and grow. So it doesn't affect me as negatively, as it used to. I used to get depressed and be really worried about those things. But when I look at it, I took control of my thoughts and said, I'm going to think positively. I'm going to look at these opportunities as character building opportunities or character building days. If I have a bad day, guess what? It's a character building day, right? I know what I need to do the next time. H is going to be harness your dreams, right? It's like, a harness is where you jump on, if you've ever ridden a horse, you harness a horse to ride it, right? So you're going to harness your dreams. You're going to ride your dreams and make them happen. And that's what you've got to do, is continue to really live the life that you want to do, and make sure that you are going to do what you want. Write down your goals, right? Write down your goals. Look at those every day, and, think the impossible, right? When you think the impossible and you think big, you're going to accomplish more, right? If you want to, be a business owner, think that you can be a business owner and start making plans for it and start working towards it. And guess what? You will get there, right? That's something that I've done in the last year. And I never thought that I would own a business. Never, I always wanted to do something on myself, but, I'm in the process of really getting something going. And it really took a lot of, time, patience, and things, but you are in charge of doing what you want to do, right? So you've got to be able to continue to do that. And finally, the worst and the hardest one that you're going to, people hate this, but it's one of the main factors that is going to help you find success. And that's, ready? Embracing change. People hate change. In any career that I've had, in any sales, if you're in sales, you'll understand this. People hate change. People like being comfortable. And when you're comfortable, you're complacent. So when you are sitting in the same job and you're tired of it and you choose not to take action because you don't want to embrace change, that's where life gets really tough and really negative, right? How many of you guys have been there, right? I've been there. And I'll tell you, embracing change and knowing what I want out of life has truly helped me in being a better person, being a better husband, being a better friend, being a better family member. Embracing change, because everybody changes, right? We all change in different forms. As we get older, we mature. We go through different paths, and we all go through different paths, but that's really embracing the change within ourselves and embracing other people and embracing change, right? I've told you guys, I've had in the last year, and it's really, from March to March again of this past year. So March 2017 to March 2018, I had 5 different jobs with 5 different companies. And I know it sounds unstable, and I know it sounds a little crazy, and you probably don't hear that very often. And I used to really hold my, I don't know. I would almost like judge myself and say, why am I changing jobs so much? But it all comes down to your happiness. And if you aren't finding something, and I'm not recommending you go find 5 jobs, but if you'd like to, go do it and try. I tried different, fields. I tried different things. I even went back to some of the things that I was used to because it was kind of comfortable. But then I found that, well, I left that for a reason, right? So you learn these lessons throughout this process. And to have 5 different jobs, and, I look at them as, it wasn't just 5, jobs at, these random places. Like, I felt like they were pretty prestigious jobs. Like, I was able to get 5 prestigious jobs and have people hire me for these jobs. And, I changed jobs 5 times. So I was pretty impressed. One. So if you need help with, interview skills and all that stuff, that's one of my passions. I love it. I love it's kind of a game when you are interviewing. You've got to be able to overcome objections. And that's part of the sales thing. I love sales and the aspect of, people, but, embrace change for the better for yourself, because you can get so caught up and so lost in what you're doing that you don't change. You're stuck, and then you're going to live a miserable life. I hear people all the time, oh, I hate my job. Well, why are you still in your job? I'm not happy. Well, you can make a difference. You can make it happy. And a lot of it's confidence and being really focused on what you do. But that's why I created the 7 principles of these things, because that was where I was at. I was stuck. I was complacent, and I wasn't living my purpose. And my purpose, I say, my purpose is to help you guys find purpose and passion in everything you do on a day-to-day basis. Right? To give people confidence, to be able to share my experiences. And by no means am I some magic guru for you. But my experiences, I know I've helped people, and you guys have helped me just as much as I've helped you, which is a great transfer of emotion, a great transfer of energy. And it's positive energy and a positive round of and wave of momentum. So we've got to continue that. I'm going to continue this show. Again, my goal is to make sure that I get an episode out a week. Obviously, I didn't balance very well last week, so again, I apologize. But we are going to continue this show, Breathe Motivation. Those are the 7 principles. If you guys have any questions or need anything, you can reach out to me at anthonyhester@breathemotivation.com. I love hearing from you guys. I love coaching you guys. So if any of you guys want to do individual coaching, reach out to me on anywhere. anthonyhester@breathemotivation.com. Instagram and Twitter at Breathe Motivate, Breathe Motivation on Facebook, whatever's clever. So at the end of the day, let me leave you this quote. Your goal is not to impress others. Your goal is to impress yourself. So go out there, do that. And as always, remember to breathe motivation and exhale success. And I will see you next week. Thanks.